Hi, this is Mrs. Wasserman, and today we are going to be estimating the square root of a number. The square root of 18 is an irrational number. There is no exact number that I can multiply to itself and get exactly 18. I'm going to look at the squares that are close to 18. The square root of 16 is 4 because 4 times 4 equals 16. The square root of 25 is 5 because 5 times 5 is 25. So I know that the square root of 18 is bigger than 4 but less than 5. So I know it's 4 and some decimal part. So I'm going to take my calculator and I'm going to use my calculator to figure out a closer estimate. I'm going to start by using a number that's halfway in between 4 and 5. I'm going to do 4.5 squared, and that gives me 20.25. That's a little bit too big, so I'm going to use another smaller number. 4.3 squared gives me 18.49. Still a little bit too big, so I'm going to try a little bit smaller. 4.2 squared gives me 17.64, which is even smaller, which is just a little bit too small. Now I can find a number that's between 4.2 and 4.3. I just have to add another decimal place. So this time I'm going to try 4.25 squared. That gives me 18.0625, a little bit too big. So I'm going to go a little bit smaller. 4.24 squared. Well, that's a little bit too small. I'm going to go to another decimal place. I'm going to go to the thousandths place. I'm going to try 4.243 squared. And that gives me a little tiny bit too big. So I'm going to try a little tiny bit smaller. 4.242 squared. That's a little, 4.242 squared gives me a little tiny bit too small. So I'm going to try going one more place. I'm going to try 4.2425 squared, and I get a little tiny bit too small, so I'm going to have to go a little bit bigger. I'm going to do 4.2426 squared, and I get 17.99. 4.2427 squared. So I know that it's between 4.2426 squared and 4.2427 squared. And that's a really close estimate. I could use either one of those. They're both very, very close. And that's how you find the estimated square root of a number.